This is what NHS workers should be wearing to treat coronavirus patients. And this is what they're being told to wear by the government. The government says they're providing NHS workers with adequate PPE, personal protective equipment.
170 million masks, 42.8 million gloves, 13.7 million aprons, 182,000 gowns, almost 10 million items of cleaning equipment, and 2.3 million pairs of eye protectors, all delivered to 58,000 NHS trusts and healthcare settings.
So why is this guy saying this?
They're wearing surgical masks which are not WHO standard. They're wearing thin plastic aprons which are not standard. And they're wearing rubber gloves which only cover their wrists, exposing their arms to danger, jeopardy. That is nothing short of a national scandal.
That was Richard Horton, editor of The Lancet, which is one of the oldest and most prestigious medical journals in the world. Once upon a time, staff were told to wear full PPE, comprising an FFP3 mask, visor, surgical gown, and 2 pairs of gloves each. The mask is really important. It provides a seal around the nose and mouth, is fitted to a doctor's face when used, and then disposed of at the end of a shift. But the new advice recommends only a standard surgical face mask, short gloves, and a plastic apron. You'll recognise this mask from a stereotypical image of a surgeon, loose-fitting, with space around the sides next to the mouth, and tied at the back. Staff have dismissed this as totally inadequate protection. Rosanna Allen-Khan is an A&E doctor and MP. Here she details what she's been wearing while doing the rounds. The quality of the mask that was initially sort of needed or described as needed for doctors, nurses, etc. is a type of mask that is a very close, snug fit. It's adjustable. It forms a seal right around the mouth and nose to limit. It's layered. Could you explain sort of what that mask is, and then the difference between that and the surgical masks that people have been using and potentially you've been using when you've been working?
Yeah, I've been using surgical masks. There are no other masks. Originally, everyone was wearing the FFP3 masks, the really snug, tight-fitting ones that we were seeing people wearing in China, South Korea, even in Italy. And then, all of a sudden, we were told that we have the personal protective equipment that we need, and the guidance changed to being surgical masks, which are much thinner. You tie them. There are often gaping little holes at the side because it doesn't fit snugly. And that we're seeing doctors and nurses off sick everywhere.
FFP3 masks and visors in particular appear to be in short supply. Doctors are threatening to quit their profession unless they are properly equipped.
We've had doctors tell us that they feel like lambs to the slaughter, that they feel like cannon fodder. GPs tell us that they feel absolutely abandoned. And we must really stress to the Prime Minister that we need to protect the front line here.
Most concerningly, NHS staff's level of protection contravenes the World Health Organization guidance, which states if someone is providing direct care to a COVID-19 patient, they must wear a surgical mask, gown, gloves, and eye protection. Whereas the government says an apron is adequate, not a gown, and no eye protection. For aerosol generating procedures, that means a procedure that generates respiratory droplets, like intubating a patient onto a ventilator. The WHO recommends an FFP2 standard or equivalent mask, gown, gloves, eye protection, and apron. So why the divergence between the World Health Organization and our government? Some suspect it's an issue of cost and availability. But the UK knew about coronavirus in January. Why wasn't February spent gathering the necessary equipment? So if you needed this to treat an infectious and lethal disease, but were given this instead, what would you do?